do you have a system in place that is going to be able to get people that don't know you to know you and then into your ecosystem, into your sales pipeline? I don't want to toot my own horn, but now we've cracked the code for having a system to be able to bring in quality leads and turn them into high value clients. And I want to show you right now the best way to hit a consistent 100 to 250 to 300,000 or more a month. And it's a little hint, it's not posting more content, it's not trying to be like Hormozy, it doesn't require large budgets, and it's not you having to hire another business coach or join a mastermind. Because if you're frustrated because you've been using tactics like webinars or VSLs or challenges or book funnels, lead magnets, or even Facebook ads aren't working for you anymore, then know that it's not your fault. Because in this episode, I want to break down the exact marketing system that we're using to scale 6, 7, and 8-figure coaching businesses. Now, this is a part of the roadmap that takes you from $0 to $10,000 a month to $10,000 a week to $10,000 a day. Because let me break down the math. $5 per lead into $100 per application, $1,000 to actually acquire a client. Now, if you can have clients paying you $2,000 a month, so they're worth $24,000 a year, and we have 150 clients, that is $3.6 million a year. That's $10,000 a day. That is the math. So let me now show you how you can potentially actually make this happen using our automated RMAS method. Because to actually give you a backstory, this all started in a sauna at 6 a.m. with me standing there with my jaw on the floor. See, I was doing what I think all us entrepreneurs are told that we have to do to excel. We're supposed to be doing the saunas and early morning ice baths, right? Literally what I was doing. And while sitting there with sweat dripping off me, Simon, an early 30s coach, and I got chatting and mostly talking about nothing. But then he said, I'd give $20,000 just to go through your Google Drive. I went, my Google Drive? He goes, yeah, look, dig, treasure hunt, poke, maul, swipe, take everything I need. And I was like, well, why $20,000? I think I was a little bit shocked at the amount, to tell you the truth. I'd never thought about it. And he goes, well, one new client to me is worth $5,000. And he goes, well, hell, if I just got one new client a week from it, it's worth every cent of me being able to go through it. And so I went back to my MacBook and I went back through my Google Drive and I went through everything. And he was right. There was a fortune of information in there. Quite literally, it was a treasure trove of all the IP, the winning funnels, the ad campaigns, the emails, the content, the copy, the unusual strategies that worked, all of the things that didn't work so we know not to do them again, all of the magic tricks that we've used to be able to scale 6, 7, and 8-figure coaching businesses. And I was like, well, anybody trying to actually grow a coaching business would kill for all of this. And they would spend happily 20 years trying to accumulate all of the information of knowing what's working, not working, the actual data. And so this is what came about to me literally walking you through right now, sharing with you the system that we're using. Because after piecing all of this together, we have the data. We're not business coaches. We're not trying to do the circle jerk business coaching thing. We want to be sleeves rolled up, actually building businesses in many different niches. And we get to see from the actual real data what's working and what's not working, which is why I'm so confident in actually sharing this with you, because this is exactly what we're using right now. And so we've broken this down into 6 key playbooks. Now, the way to actually think about these playbooks and how this works together is if you think about the Avengers movies, okay? So there's Thanos, the dude that wants to like take over the universe. Now, let's actually replace Thanos, the bad dude. Let's replace him with you, an awesome coach wanting to impact tons of people doing your zone of genius, doing the work that you love to be able to do. Now, where Thanos needs 6 infinity stones in his glove or whatever the hell you call it, he needs 6 infinity stones to be able to like rule the universe, right? Well, you only need 6 playbooks to grow an amazing coaching business. You only need 6 playbooks to have an acquisition system, a marketing and sales system to bring in leads and turn them into clients like absolute clockwork. And so I want to walk you through what these 6 playbooks are right now. The first one is what we call the cold to sold ad matrix. Now, this is where you need a system that gets people that don't know you, so cold traffic, to know you and into your sales process. But what's important is you need to be able to have the exact messaging and really importantly, and the sequencing that is going to be able to set you up to be an authority in the marketplace and to get people to take notice of you, and then be able to maximize the actual conversion percentage of them becoming a client. And we do this as a blueprint and being able to know the exact right campaigns to be able to run as well. So when you look at the ad matrix, we've seen all before the kind of top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom funnel. Let's just focus just on the top of funnel stuff, because this is what we, with a partner, with a coaching business, we first crack the code to the top of funnel, because that means we have a system whereby we can go to people that do not know you, cold traffic, very large amounts of people that do not know you. Then what we want to be able to do is to be able to get them into the actual sales process, and I'll explain that with the rest of these systems and how they all combine together. And one more thing, super importantly, where Thanos has the 6 infinity stones. Now, each infinity stone, each playbook is powerful. It's good by itself. But the thing is, there's a linear effect where he puts all 6 of the infinity stones together. Suddenly, it's just, he can rule the universe. Do you know what I mean? If he has one infinity stone, he can't rule the universe. Where you have one playbook that might be working, you can get some okay results. And so it's not this 1 + 1 + 1 linear trajectory of being able to grow your business. What we see time and time again is when you have all 6 of the playbooks working together, you get this hockey stick effect. You get this exponential growth to your business. And we do this by starting with a small budget. So nothing is going to tighten your sphincter more by stressing about you having to have a large ad budget right now. I don't want your sphincter closing up, worrying about that. That's not the case whatsoever. What I want you to understand is we just need to be able to get a couple of things working together. One is the actual targeting of your ads, and which is why we start broad and have a couple of different campaigns to begin with, so that we can actually have the right message, but in front of the right people as well. And then it's about the sequencing as to what messages they're seeing and what steps they have to take after it. So this is where I want you to think about right now. Do you have a system in place that is going to be able to get people that don't know you to know you, and then into your ecosystem, into your sales pipeline? Because that goes to our second playbook, which we call the $1 million microwave. So remember, we were just talking about cold traffic, okay? So they're stone cold. And what do we need to do with people that are stone cold? We need to warm them up. So we created a microwave. So you've got to think about right now, how many people have before, even if you've not run ads before and just done organic content, either way, organic or paid, people have seen your stuff, okay? Maybe they've even engaged with it, they've liked on it, they've commented on it, they've hit the follow or subscribe button, whatever, but they haven't become a client. Now, what typically happens is they might see your stuff, they might even engage with it, but then they fall through the cracks. And what we need to be able to do is we need to warm them up even more, even faster, and have a process whereby, like a proven set of steps, that can easily be bolted into your business so that we can get them into the next steps that are necessary. And again, these systems all work together. So if you don't have this set up, you're likely to be getting leads, but you're not getting booked calls, you're not getting sales conversations, and you're definitely not being able to see the amount of sales that you want as well. Because another side effect of not having this set up properly is prospects start to ghost you, or they start to get on calls and they start to say, oh, I have to think about it, or they've got some sort of money objection, and you're starting to see that your conversion rates are going down and your cost to acquire a client start going up. So both things we don't want to see, we want to flip those around. So that's why it's important to be able to have a microwave. But if you've made it this far, seriously, thank you. I appreciate you being here. But real quick, if you are a coach or consultant who wants to be able to build a self-growing business without bloated team, a big ad budget, or working more than 3 hours a day, then make sure that you hit subscribe, because everything I share here is built for founders just like you, because it's likely that you are done chasing bigger and ready to build better. So let's get back to it. It goes into the third playbook, and you'll start to see now how these all need to work together. The third playbook is what we call a DTO preso. Now, what do you think would happen if you could be able to get your prospects to, number one, know that you are the dream solution for them. Number two, that you do it and you get them their solution in a far superior way compared to your competitors. And then three, what do you think would happen is if you could have them know that's a great deal for them to be able to work with you, and be silly for them to pass up that opportunity. What would happen? I think your business would absolutely skyrocket, because there is a marketing message that, when packaged together into the best way to fit your market and to fit your model, is going to be absolutely one of the key critical components, one of the key critical ingredients to a successful business right now. Maybe I'm just hungry and I'm using a food analogy. But anyway, without a high converting DTO preso, what is going to happen is you'll struggle with actually having the other 5 playbooks work together as well. And you'll struggle because you're probably making prospects go through too much, jump through too many hoops to actually get to a point where they are going to become a client. So we've done 3 playbooks. 4th playbook is what we call the back-end amplifier. Now, most coaches, so chill out, most coaches freak out when I initially start to explain this to them. But you don't need to, because yes, maybe there is some complexity there, but gone are the days are running a Facebook ad to an application and getting someone signed on 1 or 2 days after. I just don't think that really happens so far. Or essentially, I don't want to have to rely on that to be able to grow a business. I want to sleep well, and I sleep well knowing that there are backup systems, that there is a matrix of a process together to amplify conversions. And so the way that we do this is the back-end amplifier is really about how are you able to have more of a personal contact, more of a way for your prospect to feel seen, heard, understood, and have that likability with you and your business as well. Because you'll likely start to enjoy the direct link of seeing of somebody becoming into your ecosystem, opting into your stuff, to then going into your actual sales process as well. And this can be done through phone calls, through SMSs, through emails, through DMs, ideally with all of them actually working together. And with most coaches, let's say if you're under the 50,000 a month mark, I actually believe it's probably best for you to actually be in this process, doing that heavy lifting, doing that actual work, so that you can have a better understanding of your prospects. To be able to get that data, so then you can start building out the processes. Unless we're building it for you, then it's going to be a ton easier. But then once you've gone through that process, it's really easy to hand to a VA or a team member to be able to get going. So then once you've got that nailed, there's 2 more playbooks that we need to be able to connect together. And that is going to be, the next one is the coach's application funnel. Okay, so this is really important, because there is a fun fact right now. I want to know if you agree with me. Fun fact. I believe no one has ever woken up and said, I want a discovery or a strategy call with you today. I just don't think people want that. What they want is they want an easy, simple, quick, effective, reliable process to solve the problem they have right now. And this is why we get really granular and we do the work on crafting the ideal ideal offer, and then into the process that gets more sales applications, higher show rates, and then high conversion rates on those calls as well. But really importantly, being able to do that without you needing some unicorn of a salesperson having to do it with you. So whether you're going to be having the sales conversations, or you have another team member to be able to have those conversations, you don't want to have to rely on, okay, so this is typically what happens. A coach will say, well, when I'm on sales calls, do you mean I convert at 80, 90%? Well, no shit, Sherlock, do you know what I mean? Like, you're the head honcho, you know all of that stuff. For you to be able to grow a business that can work without you, then be able to grow and scale, because typically most coaches don't want to be banging sales calls the entire time. You need to transfer that skill, that ability, that system, that process to have somebody else to be able to do it, which is why we set up the application funnel correctly, because it does a lot of the heavy lifting to go into the 6th playbook, which is what we call the high converting 4P closing process. So again, I'm going to link these analogies together. I'm using more food analogies. Stick with me. Think of McDonald's, okay? It's $1 billion a year business built on the back of pimply teenagers. It's the system, it's the scripts, it is the actual process and steps that their employees follow that make it near perfect and the exact same all over the world. Now, we build your process so you're not having to rely on A-grade salespeople that are probably going to just take a chunk of your profits and because you have to pay them such high commissions, and it's just a recipe for disaster having to rely on unicorns to do any part of the process. So what we need to be able to do is we need to be able to orchestrate the sales system, which is really, do you have correct preparation, as into does the prospect prepare properly, and how do you get them to do it and actually wanting to prepare properly? Do you or your salesperson prepare properly for it? Then there is actually going to be the persuasion side of things. And how do you properly persuade and really ideally have them feeling comfortable and confident that you are the right solution for them, and being able to tackle their actual objections that are going to be setting it up. So when you have all of the process going together, and you're really simply, if you're able to actually just take somebody through a natural conversation and to be able to make sure they're a really good fit, you're able to answer all of their objections, and you're able to give them and transfer the confidence that you and your team have to ensure that they are feeling that, yes, you are able to solve my problem. I am more than happy to give you money, my credit card number right now, because I know that this is going to be a win. Then that is when we're going to be able to profit. So the two key questions for you to answer right here is, number one, do you have all 6 of these systems built, and are they working? And number 2, do you know the metrics and data behind what is actually happening as well? Because this is really important to understand. Right now, if you go and look at these 6 playbooks, you might do a traffic light scenario. So red light is, okay, I don't have the system, or the system's really not getting me the results and I know it needs to. Orange light is, I've got the system there, but it's not optimized, it's not doing great. Green light, I've got the system, it's doing everything, I know I can sleep well, that it's going to be working around the clock. Look at each of the 6 systems and give yourself red, orange, or green for each of them. And then the idea is, and this is what I can't answer for you right now, obviously in this format, specifically individually for you, is what is the biggest constraint? What is the most important thing that you need to work on next? And by solving that next key constraint, it makes everything else easier and more effective. And then we just rinse and repeat through that process. This is exactly what we do with all of our 6, 7, and 8-figure coaching businesses. We just rinse and repeat that process. We diagnose the exact constraint. We install the exact playbook and system and process needed to solve that constraint. And then we just keep doing that as well. So this is where I really appreciate your time for sticking with me throughout this entire episode, because if you haven't liked or subscribed or shared this out, then I highly recommend you do, because there'll be good karma for it. But what would bring me the most amount of joy is really going to be a case of apply this, actually use it. What I think a teacher really wants at the end of the day is, a teacher wants their students and people being able to take what they've got and to be able to go far superior than them, to be able to get far better results and be able to build far more successful businesses that I've ever been and will ever be able to do. That's the thing that would actually absolutely light me up. So if you have any questions, or if you have any topics, really importantly as well, a lot of the episodes that I do here are going to be specifically to answer what is it that's stopping you right now. So in the YouTube comments, make sure that you put in if there's any specific questions or topics that you want me to cover in upcoming episodes, because then I can actually do that for you. And it's just not me talking to a camera and there's actually this back and forth, there's a two-way conversation going on right now. That, I think, is truly valuable for you. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I appreciate your time and attention, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode. All right, that's it for today. And if this did hit home for you today, and if you are building a business that's meant to give you more money and more freedom, then I want you to be able to do 2 things before you go. 1, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because you're a bummer if you missed out on everything else to come. Number 2, grab the link in the description and be able to book in your free demo so you can see the exact systems, the exact process, and you can be able to install it inside of your business. Because remember, this channel is for coaches and creators who want a daily income, simple systems, and to be able to take time off. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.